All right, John, picture an opulent room, dimly lit by chandeliers, the walls adorned with vintage maps of far-flung lands and faded portraits of ancestral tycoons. By the way, I've never read this before. I just got this paper. At the center, a round oak table surrounded by titans of wealth, intellect, and rebellion. All converge to discuss one topic: how 20-somethings can break free from poverty and achieve financial freedom. Anton Krill, who John is familiar with, friendly with, I imagine, kicked things off, cutting through the ambience with a sharp grin. "Listen," he said, with nonchalance of a man who thrives in chaos. "The masses are emotionally chained to poor decision-making. Break those chains," he gestured around. "Think independently. Ignore the herd." Charlie Munger gave an approving nod. He's German? What is he?
I mean, the heritage, sure.
That's right. Indeed. No. Munger mused. "I've built billions by compounding knowledge, not just capital. Get obsessed with learning. It's your intellectual fuel." Let me repeat that. Get obsessed with learning. It is your intellectual fuel. Munger's advice landed like a quiet revolution. Financial freedom, he suggested, isn't just about money, but about mastering the discipline of thought. A few at the table chuckled, recognizing that Munger was giving a recipe that most wouldn't grasp: the art of patience in a world of instant gratification. Just then, George Soros, leaning back with the practiced ease of a man who's bet against entire economies, offered his 2 cents. "Forget playing safe," he smirked, a glint of daring in his eyes. "Wealth is created at the edge of chaos. When markets are in turmoil, that is where the opportunities lie. Take risk. Big ones." Elon Musk, seated beside him, grinned mischievously. "Precisely. The best time to make bold moves," he questions. "The best time to make bold moves in your 20s is risk it all because you can afford to. Take on impossible projects. If you fail, you'll learn more than any college degree could teach you. If you succeed," he trailed off, letting the potential of a revolutionary impact hang in the air. Soros and Musk locked eyes in mutual acknowledgement. It's the real playground of the audacious isn't just high returns. It's reshaping reality. Then Mansa Musa, man, we're getting Mansa Musa. I haven't heard him in a while. The richest man in history, who wore an air of ancient wisdom, leaned forward and shared a legacy often misunderstood. True wealth, he intoned, isn't just in what you accumulate, but how you empower others. Wealth flows when you lift those around you. Across the table, the Rothschild nodded, adding that wealth's true staying power comes from diversifications and creating systems that endure through generations. Andrew Carnegie chimed in, his Scottish accent thick with conviction. "Build your fortune by addressing society's greatest needs. Specialized skills create wealth. But remember," the remember sounded funky there, he said, eyeing the younger figures in the room, "philanthropy binds us to humanity. Money without purpose is just an empty chase." At this point, Karl Marx, a skeptical glint in his eye, broke the rhythm with the challenge. "All this sounds like capitalist rhetoric. Do not forget the collective," he declared. "Wealth unmoored from social responsibility corrupts society. If you amass wealth, do so with an eye towards the community." The room tensed until Andrew Tate, modern-day provocateur, an unapologetic iconoclast, cut in. "Financial freedom demands that you are unbreakable, physically, mentally, socially. Strength breeds respect, and respect fuels opportunities. Social media has created a playing field for branding yourself and monetizing any skill." As this discussion came to a close, there was an unspoken agreement on some fundamentals: resilience, vision, patience, and the guts to go against the grain. They agreed that breaking free from poverty isn't just a sprint towards wealth, no, but a marathon of fortifying one's mind, building a meaningful network, and betting on yourself with unshakable confidence. This assembly of financial giants and rebel minds had crafted an elusive roadmap, a blueprint only truly decipherable by those ready to challenge every comfort, rethink every norm, and live with an unrelenting drive to redefine their world. John, Chat GPT has done it again. Good God, that was good. So, really, to kind of cap off what Chat GPT so brilliantly put, how they put it, remember, there's a lot of disagreement between this group, and I think a lot would argue with each other, probably a lot more than Chat GPT would reveal, would give it credit for, right? But remember, these fundamentals of resilience, vision, and patience, and the guts to go against the grain, I think those are really fine buttons to a wonderful. What are your thoughts on this, man?
I mean, I wanted to put a group of people that, probably should be together, but
yeah,
would be interesting to see because, these are some weird individuals.
Yeah, you got a bunch of weirdos in there. I wouldn't have suspected that.
Elon and Soros are sitting next to each
Yeah,
other.
that. Or Karl Marx and Andrew Tate. That's an interesting pair.
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
You can't have all these capitalists unless you have the true communists.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have Mr. Marx.
And he brought it back. I think Marx made his point, I think, fairly eloquently and in a way that sort of balanced the conversation for sure. And him and Andrew Carnegie's collective and caring for society, I think, is an important thing. Very important thing. With that said, we do have to start to close. So is there any button that you'd like to tap to close out this episode, John? On one note, I will just say, at least I'm of the opinion that I think starting to educate yourself and going through that process, it can be gradual, right? If you're someone who has no background and you're starting from zero, you can only do yourself good by putting in effort. And eventually, I think all that effort compounds, and eventually you're going to reach that mastery status, or at least get closer to it. But it all has to start with doing the work and putting in, effort. And I think, and I'm a firm believer, you just got to be 1% better every day, right? 1% better every day, and in 100 days, if you'd be 100% better than you were just 100 days before. And so I always think about this analogy in my own life. If I were to start something today, where would I be in a year from now? And again, all growth compounds, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, mental, it all compounds. So starting today, do something that's going to make you better, right? And it could be simply just looking at the fucking K10 and seeing what it says and exposing yourself to stuff that you've probably never seen before. I think that's always a benefit. So just remember, if you do something today, imagine where you're going to be in a year from now. And if you imagine that year from now and you're not doing that thing, then imagine all the growth you missed out on just in a single year. And again, it doesn't have to be financially. It could be anything. So with that said, I think I'm going to close out the show. Thank you for watching Below the Trees podcast. Please do all the normal YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this video with your friends and family. If you've gotten any bit of value of it, we appreciate everyone who tunes in and continues to support the channel with their time. So thank you so much.